Good afternoon, free spirits, and welcome to another episode of 60 Days In. Today, Lil Miss Dangerous gets a play date with Lil Jesse Eisenberg, but I think he missed the briefing on what was coming. And this is why you don't miss those briefing meetings. Lil Jesse McCartney just concluded that mistakes were made while playing in this match, cause he signed up for wrestling, not bullfighting. Meanwhile, the Jesse Bunch has already accepted the imminent loss of a member. Whole time, Lil Miss Dangerous putting that can of spinach she ate for breakfast to work. Pretty sure she washed it down with some hot water and munched on a pine cone for a snack. Good googly moogly. Chill, Goliath. Lil Jesse James is being put through the ringer. This is how zebras look when they get caught by lions. Man, he like, please not again. At this point, if I'm Lil Jesse, I'm googling how to request a restraining order after this. Yeah, I'm sure he's had a lot of good days before, but he's gonna remember this is one of the, oh my god, how much worse can it get? Yeah, if he never prayed before, his conversion to Christianity is happening right now. Cause it's obvious only God can help him now. Yeah, I know I said this was a play date, but this is more like an ambush. I'll tell you what, this will be my last time wrestling. Cause I refuse to be folded up and thrown around like laundry again. He went down like a little McCarthy member.
Okay, let me get myself together. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining us here. We'll get into it with Taz and Chris, our resident ginger. Okay, you know, the midweek break is going to be just that for the most part. There's a little controversy. There are a few controversies we need to talk about today.
A couple.
So that's why I figured we'd open and close the show with Killer Cam, because we love Killer Cam around here. Keep taking them down, Killer Cam. Where to begin?
Yes.
Let's start with the kiss heard around the world.
Oh, here we go.
Sit back. This is gonna be it's not too long, but it's 3 short videos. So we'll see you in 2 and 2.
The president of the Spanish FA is facing backlash after kissing one of their World Cup winning players. Hermoso was asked about the embrace after the match. Appearing somewhat uncomfortable, she said, yeah, I did not enjoy that. She later awkwardly said the same thing when asked on a live stream from Spain's dressing room. Fans were furious with Rubiales' actions as Spain won their first ever Women's World Cup. The president defended it, however, as an insignificant show of affection and called his critics idiots. The mom of the disgraced soccer chief that's been suspended for this unsolicited kiss is prepared to die as she starts the 2nd day of her hunger strike. Angles Bejar locked herself inside a church with only water and energy drinks to keep her alive and says she will carry on her protest indefinitely until she gets justice for her son and calls for the Spanish captain to tell the truth. Spanish FA President Luis Rubiales is facing backlash from his own organization and could be banned from soccer for 15 years after he kissed Captain Jenny Hermoso on the lips. All 23 players on Spain's winning team have refused to play international games while he remains in his post. The Spanish football chief that's under fire for this kiss has sent FIFA the video of the Spanish captain appearing to be laughing with her teammates after the incident. Jenny Hermoso was seen joking at a meme of her being kissed by Luis Rubiales. And sources close to Rubiales say the footage is gold dust in his battle to keep his job. While the drama continues to unfold, his mother is on day 3 of her hunger strike until her son gets justice.
I'm not unconditionally heavy because I haven't eaten for 2 days and can't, so I have to stay calm.
Really? We all saw it. Like, how do you justify any of that? I mean, come on.
And as a mother, I'm sorry, I'm not going on a hunger strike after watching my son violate a woman.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen is y'all would need to get online and raise bail money for me because I'm definitely sending him to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And then him sitting there talking about what's gold dust per video. I need people to understand there is uncomfortable laughter. And sometimes when something happens to you and people want to keep putting it in your face, especially when you're known and it makes it onto the internet, to keep from crying, to keep from wanting to walk out into traffic, sometimes you just got to laugh. Sometimes you just have to laugh. And trust me, it is a maniacal laugh.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different than years ago, a guy legitimately told me this on Facebook, and he called himself a relationship guru. He said that it's an open door for if you ask a woman something and she says no, thank you, because she said thank you at the end. What?
Yeah.
Like, there are times we have to be super polite in order to survive an encounter.
Right. But
And I'm like, being polite is now a no, because if I tell you no and you keep going,
I
I
mean,
hope you got a black dress.
number one, this is the biggest moment for that team. They'd never achieved that height in their federation career. So this was a first, not for just those players, but for our country, for the women's side. She was not given even an inch to pull away or duck or move to the side. And I take the video where the laughter, when you're in a team environment, people can poke fun at something that still is uncomfortable, even if they all rally around and say, yeah, it was wrong, but we're giving a little jab to you because it happened. And yeah, I'm sure they would have loved to have just celebrated a win because it was the biggest win of their career for their country. And unfortunately, this is something that has been it's been overcasted and tarnished a little bit. That victory that should have just been a victory on its own. Now we're hearing about the kiss more so than the tremendous run they made in the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they,
if she would have been a man, say this was the men's team, it would not have been a thought, because his excuse of, oh, I was overcome and it was a celebration. You grabbed her face. You've been wanting to do for a while.
Yeah, this was a full, both hands. Like, I secured your head. There's no way around it, and obviously we've talked a little bit. That suspension was a joke. You don't suspend somebody when you know the proper outcome for this. Nobody else would have gotten away with it, we hope, but in some cases, I'm sure maybe some others would have. Like I said, this is one of those things where, what if this was a men's team and part of that nation's team had a female representative that was going to do the award ceremony, and she happened to grab the guy? Who knows what table would have been flipped to look at it from that point of view. Either way, it's not right because it doesn't matter your gender. But like we said, the women's side just being treated as equals when it comes to pay and everything else hasn't always been there. I mean, they've had to fight basically for everything aside from winning. I mean, look at the U.S. women's side. I mean, they're winning all the time, and yet they're basically paid what minor leaguers may have gotten in our leagues. Not even close to the men's league, who clearly hasn't been as successful lately as the women's side. So yeah, it's once again, it's unfortunate that something wasn't swiftly done. Hopefully the outcome will be what it should be. But yeah, it's unfortunate for everybody involved that has the victory. I'm not saying for him, but it's unfortunate for that team and for those ladies that we even have to have this conversation and not celebrate their win.
Yeah, and if his mother wants to sit there and wilt away in like, this is what gets me about certain women that have a whole lot of internalized misogyny. She's really doubling down. She's like, oh, I'm a good mother, I'm protecting my son, and then trying to use the symbolism in Spain of a church.
Right.
Like, ma'am.
But she can't see that her son has a title, that he used his title and his ability to feel like he can do what he wants to do and just, do what he wanted to do without feeling like, hey, I can't do this. I shouldn't do this. Did you do it to the whole team? Thank goodness you didn't. But the fact that you singled out an individual and had her basically by the head, that was far from consensual. That was forced upon. And anything forceful, it should be handled accordingly. She did not ask for that. She asked for a medal, not a kiss.
Yeah, and I'm like, ma'am, you going to the church. Jesus would have knocked your son's teeth down his esophagus.
Yeah.
My soul hurts. Your soul really gonna hurt when you realize if this goes on long enough that you pass away, Miss Mamas, your soul really gonna hurt when you're like, Jesus, I'm so glad to see you. And he goes, new phone, who this?
Yeah, her next stance will be, won't somebody give my son a job? He deserves another chance. I mean, maybe
he could join maybe he could immigrate over here. Because he's the right complexion for immigration. He could work on the Trump campaign. He's perfect for the Trump campaign. Or maybe he can help Giuliani with his civil sex case.
Or maybe he can just officiate the Bobert MTG feed. Huh? Maybe he has equal kisses.
That I would pay money for.
I'm sure they might both receive it. But I'm sure they've never kissed and told, so I don't know if they would.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they're big about secrets. Yeah.
Secrets and Jesus. They're trying to protect Jesus and the family and in the school and the government. Because they're good Christian Jesus-loving ladies that fight in the bathroom with each other.
Right. Yeah. I say they should be roomies with Elizabeth Holmes.
Boa.
Yeah. She might have to lower her voice again. Steve Jobs.
Hey, Netflix and Hulu, can we get a part 2 since she's in prison? Can we get Orange is the New Black Elizabeth Holmes edition? We just need another season of that.
Can we just get an orange turtleneck on her? She loved turtlenecks for so long.
Boy. I'm
Yes.
still shocked that she popped out babies because I'm like, you are not motherly. But as you all know, a show that Chris and I used to love to watch because of Shannon Sharp has gotten a revamp. A revamp. We'll call it a revamp. The revamp is very interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting is
I'm just
probably the most neutral way to say it.
Yeah. I'm gonna play the clips. Hold on. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. I couldn't count for a second. There's 4 clips. Let's go through these 4 clips because I don't know how to describe this revamp.
It's like an awkward family dinner for some families. Don't meet a lot.
Yeah.
And then you have like the old uncle over there wearing the pair of Jordans saying, hey, wait a minute, I'm the cool guy in the room.
Uncle that always brings up what he used to do in 1975.
But look at me, young buck. I got the new Jordans. Aren't you like me?
I was the man in 75. They couldn't stop me. I used to shuck and jive.
Still wearing that gold chain. Look at me. I got this chain 2 weeks ago. Yeah, with my pension.
All righty, here we go. Here are the clips. We'll be back.
Skip Bayless's first undisputed show without Shannon Sharp officially went live. And it was an unmitigated disaster. Skip Bayless decided that he wasn't only going to bring on Richard Sherman for 100 shows a year, he was also going to bring on Lil Wayne to debate him about sports each and every Friday. But there is a huge problem throughout this entire episode. And it was a very ironic one to say the least. Shannon Sharp would get frustrated and even call out Skip Bayless for the fact that he can't get through an opening monologue without Skip interrupting him.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Okay.
You could have came back. Skip,
Well, I thought-
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were going to bring up.
No, I was just going to say.
Skip Bayless would hint how his co-hosts talk way too much. Watch.
I don't know how closely you watch their games, but we don't have time because you guys talk too much, and so I can't. I've run out of time here. I did. Yes, you talk too much.
And it looks like they didn't rehearse with one another at all whatsoever. You can tell that Michael Irvin and Keyshawn Johnson are just used to yelling because I feel like that's what ESPN would tell them to do. And you can tell Skip Bayless is very uncomfortable and unsettled in this environment. One of the dates we've all been waiting for officially came and went.
Here's my problem. All year long, they did not have a closer. I don't know how closely you watch their games, but we don't have time because you guys talk too much, and so I can't. I've run out of time here. I did. Yes, you talk too much. But
He finished. I told him, I said, listen, man, with all these people around you, learn to catch this ball in your body. Right. So in your hands, you tighten up, ball goes through you. Or you tighten up, ball hits the ground.
That's the worst advice I've ever heard for a receiver. Don't catch it with your hands, catch it with your body.
How you gonna tell me that's the worst advice? I'm only one of the best to ever do it at playing that game.
What I'm saying is,
I don't know how you can tell me
catch it with your body and not your hands.
Atlantic championships on every level. What I'm talking about doing, I won championships on every level doing. I don't know how you're going to say that's bad advice. How is that bad advice?
Because if you're telling kids to catch with their body and not their hands.
Sure, you got to listen to what he's saying.
One second.
No.
I understand what he's saying.
Thank you.
But what I'm saying, I play quarter. If you catching it in your body, you bringing it that close, and I'm on your back, I'm getting that out of there. Every single time. I'm getting that out of there. You're not bringing it in your body. Catch it with your hands out here. But what I'm saying is, y'all are making excuses saying a professional, 12 games.
I'm telling you.
He played 12 games.
No, we're letting you, we're trying.
Y'all are making excuses. Y'all just said it was because of CeeDee Lamb.
They're not excuses.
Y'all just said it was CeeDee Lamb fault. He threw 15 interceptions.
No, I didn't say it was CeeDee Lamb fault. I said he dropped some balls early on.
Let me break it down to
much. You said facts earlier. We talking facts.
Mike, let me break it down in a much simpler fashion real quick. What Playmaker is saying, though, is that when you have people around you,
your
not
body
one
naturally
DB,
tense up.
you naturally tense up.
That's
so
a
therefore,
natural thing.
protect yourself to be able to catch the football.
Come on.
Top of that, when you talk about
DP,
12
y'all don't even
games,
catch.
when you talk about 12
Led the decade in
games,
interceptions.
when you talk.
Finished. I told him, I said, listen, man, with all these people around you, learn to catch this ball in your body. Right. So in your hands, you tighten up, ball goes through you. Or you tighten up, ball.
Oh, where do we begin? I mean, I've already got a list of some things that I can cover.
This show now reminds me of any given Sunday with my brothers and father, or on the holidays with the larger family. And they're just yelling back and forth at each other. Nobody hears what anybody is saying. They're all technically agreeing with each other, but too stubborn to shut the hell up. And Skip looks terrified. He wants, see, it was cool when Skip was one-on-one with Shannon.
Right.
Because he knew it was going to take a while for Shannon to come across the table at him. He's now surrounded. He can't pop off at the mouth. Okay? He can't pop off at the mouth. And he got some black men at the table right there that don't care. Okay? They will backhand him. He can't say nothing. Because if he pulls that shut up shit, that pop, and there will be no more Skip. Skip will be implanted into the wall. He does not know what to do. And Skip does not like to not be in control.
Right.
It's no longer just the Skip show. I don't know who came up with the idea of taking him from one co-host to a bevy of co-hosts, especially with the...
Yeah.
They should just left Skip by himself. Skip likes to hear Skip talk. It should have just changed the name from Undisputed to Skip Bayless Talks Skip. Skip on Skip.
Yeah. Okay. So let me give my rundown of what I saw, because I did try to catch a little bit of that first episode. A little bit I saw before I had to take off for work. Okay. First episode, he did the intros of the three guys. Let me just say that this was a little cringe-worthy. This was, I mean, he was slamming his hand down, announcing each one like this was like, you know, this is going to be the greatest cast put together. This is coming from a man who, when you're doing these shows, it all comes down to your audience. What does your audience want? What is your audience getting from who's on this set? Skip is somebody that is viewed by most as beyond his time. Like, your time has come and gone a while ago. You're now counting on whoever's across the desk, the table from you. So he can't survive. He tries to wear the chains, show off his shoes, his Jordans, or whatever he might have on. He's hanging on for his own fan base, wherever they are. And yet assembling a group that will get enough credit to keep the show afloat, because I feel like if you're Fox, FS1, this has to be his last go around. I mean, this has to be it. I mean, they're giving him 3. They pulled having a female at the beginning, so now you have Skip reading off what they're going to be talking about, which feels awkward for him, and it sounds awkward. And now you have a table full of guys that have recently departed other networks for certain reasons. Or for Sherman, he just never really, he just got lost in the shuffle. I believe he was NFL Network or somewhere. Keyshawn was just doing the radio for ESPN. They canceled that radio show, so I believe they just bought him out or did something like that in order for him to go. And then there is the Michael Irvin show, which he is his own show. And he's had his own personal troubles, to put it lightly. And he's bounced around. He's usually done something that's said something that's probably got him in trouble in the HR room, and he's been dismissed. So you can imagine you're putting guys that in some cases, it's a stepping stone. In some cases, it's a last opportunity. So it's showing. And when Skip puts on a football show, it's not the one thing that I really didn't like about Undisputed for so long during football season was, and I'm sure Shannon felt the same, but it wasn't his show, was that it being Skip's show meant that at least half of the show with their football talk is about Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And we have so many other teams. We got a lot of other successful teams out there that just aren't getting coverage on a show that is supposed to be sports talk. So how is it sports talk if you're not talking about the rest of the sport? So it gets old when every other segment on the show we're reverting back to talking about some part of the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, nobody asked for that. So I just felt like this is just it was just uncomfortable. It just felt like a bunch of guys that were called last week, literally, and hey, come sit down. We're just going to shoot from the hip and let's hope we all get along. Because it really sounds like go ahead.
It was brimmed with the Dallas Cowboys or Tom Brady. Like that's all.
And then LeBron. We know that Shannon was a big LeBron fan, so they did get a lot of Laker talk. But football season, at least on the basketball side, they did cover some other players and teams. But on the football side, you had to sit through at least 3 segments within their show of just Cowboy talk. And what are they going to do next? How do you think they did? What does this do? We're not all Cowboy fans, people. Hello? We want to talk about...
It always baffles me. It's like, Skip, why not just go to Dallas?
Yeah.
And do a regional show? It is okay to do a regional show. If that's all you want to talk about, do a regional show.
Right. Because you don't get football talk like you get selected per Skip talk. Well, Skip, guess what? If you're really trying to cater to your audience, they're not all Cowboys fans. And most of them were there for Shannon anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know where this is going. But, at any time, somebody at that table could just be like, hey, this is when I didn't sign up. I didn't sign up for this. I don't know if I want to stay here. Because, yeah, they are muting Skip. Skip has no choice. Like we said, he's grasping at straws because he had such a heart. And I think they probably really did try to find somebody to do a one-on-one again and couldn't get it. Nobody wanted the one-on-one. So I think they were looking at who was out of contract, who was available, who was coming. Let's see who, let's look at the other networks. Who did they just let go? And they were literally just like, hey.
And see, if they were going to do a conglomerate, here's the thing. Sports shows out there. If you're not going to be dedicated to one specific sport, stop stacking the table with people that are all from one sport.
Yeah. On Skip's show, number one, you don't get any other sports talk. No baseball, no soccer, no nothing. You're getting football / Cowboys, and then some NBA when it's NBA time. And that's it. It's not really a sports talk like some of the other networks may still cover baseball and some other things. They do not. This is very specific for Skip.
And it's like, it would have been nice if they would have gotten, somebody from the NFL, somebody from the MLB, somebody from the NBA, mix it up.
Right.
And I'm like,
yeah, the other places do.
Taking away from anybody's hard work, not trying to discredit anybody. But stop getting MVPs. Stop getting Hall of Famers. Their egos cannot take criticism. when they're talking about, because they have to puff up their chest, just like in the snippet we saw. I told the guys to do this, and any type of criticism, well, I'm the best that did it. This show isn't about you. This show is, you're not on the field.
Right.
You're not on the baseball diamond. You're not on the court.
Yeah, he's far from being on the field. Like, yeah, been a long time. But
and it's like,
this is what Skip got, and he's hailing it as the dream team. No, this was your only team. Like, this was it. Like, this was it. You got if you got a guy that literally got out or was bought out a week before the show, you were grasping at straws. Like, you were trying till the end, the 11th hour, to fill that table. So, dream team, no, it was your only team. And you're trying your best to make it work, but you got some super egos and large mouths. And number one, if it's not Michael Irvin pumping his chest, Keyshawn's gonna put you in his place. Because Keyshawn's like, look, I just got bought out. Look, do I need to leave this place too? Because I'll just go over to another network, or I'll go and do radio. I'll go. I mean, you look like, look, I just got here. Like, I was the last one. I was the last one who signed on.
I feel like this is going to end up being a Kelly Ripa situation. Remember when it went from Kelly and Regis
all the way down to her husband?
Right. Like you were like, okay, this is great. We finally got a combination that works. And then she came into work one day and one co-host was like, nah, I'm out. I'm going to a morning show. Then she got another popular host and he was like, nah, I'm tired of flying. I feel like it's going to be a revolving door, and it's going to get to the point where you just have people where it's just their habit. The people who wake up and as they're having their cup of coffee that just instinctively watch certain shows. Like, I had a grandparent that was like that. And I asked her one day, like, do you even like this show? It just became habit. She no longer liked the people on the show. It was just her routine. She was just on autopilot in the morning. And I think we're going to get to that point. And you
don't see that this is his last shot. Like, FS1 will be like, you know what? Hey, Skip, we try to give you whatever we could. I
don't foresee Skip lasting. I'm saying the show itself is going to be a Kelly Ripa situation where they may find one out of this bunch that the ratings say, hey, people like this one person.
Yeah. I mean, we saw that on other networks where their sports talk had literally the host removed by his co-host. Like, his co-host took over and a new guy came in and he ended up getting we've seen this before where they gravitate towards where the ratings are. I mean, it is a business. And it doesn't matter if it's radio or TV. You're going where the fans are. You got a base and they're saying we like him or we like, her or we like so-and-so. They're going where they are. And yes, everybody, there's a lot of bodies. Not all athletes can transition and successfully do it when you're in person. Some don't come across as easily. Some don't have that casual, that demeanor, the personality. You really got to have the package. I mean, even when Shannon started, he wasn't well polished. It did take time, just like anyone else that's going to something new.
Barry Larkin, it ain't gonna take time. Stop doing it. Retire from commentating now, Barry Larkin. You ain't got it.
Barry Larkin.
Baseball is already boring enough to watch on TV, and you put people into comas, and you're commentating on a team that you played for. Please stop. Please stop. Find the fans of the Cincinnati Reds. Please stop.
They're gonna bring in De La Cruz.
That would be better. Just put a mic on De La Cruz. He can commentate for himself.
Let Hoosh talk baseball.
My thing is, how do you have a player as exciting as De La Cruz?
Yeah.
And you have Barry Larkin putting people to sleep while watching De La Cruz. Like this, no. No, let Barry Larkin work in the operating room. You will not need anesthesia. Just let him talk to folks.
Oh goodness! I told you, we need Hoosh for everything, baseball and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, he could have been a Red too. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's grueling. I don't know what will happen other than them watching their ratings tank, because I think from what I heard, when we know where Shannon's going, and yes, he's also going to be with another personality that's pretty strong, and he used to be with Skip, so they're actually going to be going head to head on network.
Yeah, it's turning into the brotherhood of the.
Skip really thinks he has the dream team, and like I said, those guys are just like, I don't know if any of those guys would have necessarily picked this spot. I think they were in a point where it's either this or I have to stay unemployed for a while until the next job comes up. So I don't really think this was a dream team that said, hey, we want to be there. I think they received phone calls and said, okay, what numbers are you talking? What's the offer? Because I think Skip got a lot of no's when it came to having a one-on-one with somebody, and he could have almost kept the same format if he did find somebody. We know it took a while for this search.
Well, when you start looking at retired rap artists, you got a problem. Okay. Skip, you ain't got no friends. Skip, you ain't got no friends. Because there have been times where people are like, hey, can you bring up this topic on the podcast? And I'm like, okay, that's not really my forte, but I got somebody I can call that can come on and talk. Like, Skip, you ain't got no friends. You ain't got no friends, Skip.
I mean,
you ain't got no friends.
mean, his brother, the chef, is more interesting than Skip.
A rock at the bottom of a pond is more interesting than Skip. Okay.
Yeah.
As much as I can't stand spiders, I would hang out with Charlotte in 50 of her webs before I would sign up to hang out with Skip. Okay. His name is Skip for a reason, because you need to skip right on past him. Okay.
Now, there are special spiders that give powers, though.
Yes, but I can't see those spiders. I just keep finding the spiders that send me to the emergency room.
Okay. Yeah, if it doesn't have a little blue and red on the back, then no, don't do it.
Yeah. And the emergency room staff now knows me by name.
Well.
And they're like, is it a bite? Did you fall? What happened this time? And I'm like, fuck all of y'all.
It was the stairs. It was the stairs. It was the dog got under my feet. How many times has the dog gotten under your feet?
He is trying to send me to Jesus. He really is. I don't know which one of y'all taught him about life insurance, but you're wrong for that.
Yeah. When they have a plaque that says patient of the month, yeah, I mean,
I'm waiting for them to just like dedicate a room to me at this point. Because they just look at me, because I'll go up, to the little triage to give my information, and they're like,
oh, come on over to the Taz wing. Come on over. We got the
when they come out the one room to pull you out of ER, the one nurse just looks at me like,
hey, you're back.
It's like, how do you even survive? I don't know.
Yeah. We do it.
Because I'm telling you, when my face burst open while sitting and waiting, and she's like, are you okay? I am not. My body can't freak out right now. I don't know how to react. But can you fix it? That would be great. Would be.
But I still have lavender at home.
Yeah, I was like, this is the best I got. Like, it's like, oh, you're so calm. I am not, Miss Ma'am. I am not. My body is.
My face is feeling like Skip did the last day that Shannon left.
Right. I'm like, no.
Like this was not mutual. This was not
Mount Kilimanjaro going on my face. Can we stop the lava flow, please?
Yes. Feeling like what Anakin Skywalker felt. Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, our final story for the night is when white women tears and tennis combine. So y'all, you gotta pay attention. Pay attention to each video. As always, we'll see you in 2 and 2.
Okay, was that tweener the only shot she had? Or
No.
could she have played another
She
shot?
played another one, but I'm glad she played the tweener.
Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
she's glad.
She
I
played
wonder
it
if
well.
she's glad.
That's what the serve clock's down to.
Great.
Okay, she's going to go.
Break to open this set.
Not allowed to say.
Sigmund must have said something.
Coco Gauff, nothing easy about that match. Describe what it was like to play it.
Slow.
It's the first time I'm crying in a press conference. I thought you're, as a tennis player, you are a performer. You owe the people. You owe the kids that watch. You owe the people that buy tickets for a lot of money. And I'm just a bit, at the end of the day, I go home and I can look at myself and I can say, I did a great job. But did I get anything from the people for that? I didn't. Maybe it's not zero. Maybe it feels like zero right now. But it feels pretty much like a flat zero. Even less than a zero because they treated me bad. Like they treated me like I was a cheater, like I was like trying, sneaky ways to win this match or something. They treated me like I was a bad person. But there are people who are throwing rackets, who are screaming, who are like making bad gestures toward the audience. I did not one moment in the whole match, and there was a lot of tension going on. Not one moment I did anything. I was just slow. And that's...
Now I'm gonna give a little backstory.
Okay.
The white woman, this crying, has been a professional tennis player for 19 years. The woman she was playing is 19 years old. In tennis, there are certain rules. You cannot sit down at certain times. As you see, she was sitting there chilling. And when she was saying she was a little bit slow, you have about, I believe it's 26 seconds to serve. Now, some people run it out. That's fine. But she would take the ball and literally. And not only that, she was trying to throw the young lady off because when it was her opponent's time to serve, she would walk off and wipe her hands and get some water and come back. She was trying to delay the whole game. She was trying to play mind games and she was trying to tire her out. And then she's like, I got nothing. There was a lot of tension. The tension was coming from you because you were cheating. And one clip that I couldn't get, I did watch the tennis match because I do like tennis, that I couldn't get is when she left. She said something so egregious that another woman turned around and was like, what did you say? So it's being speculated that she said a racial slur. And then when she noticed that the crowd was not behind her and not defending her, then she started with the microaggressions and trying to insinuate that a Black young lady was aggressive and tense towards her. And, but I didn't throw anything. No, but you tried to cheat. And you got mad that the ref was helping you cheat and it still didn't work. You still got eliminated. You still lost.
But you weren't playing somebody that is known for doing the same tactics. Coco Gauff is not known for doing anything other than going out and playing.
And she's a mid-tempo player. She's
Right.
a mid-tempo. She's not fast-paced like Serena and Venus. A lot of people are accustomed to Serena and Venus. Get the ball, shoot it up. She's mid-tempo.
Yeah.
So there was no reason for all these delays.
Right. I mean, it's mind games. There's many that do that, and there had to have been more attention paid to that by the chair. Once you get away with it, players know they test the waters. They see what they're getting away with, and they keep it up until they're called out on it. And then, okay, let me go back to, they're testing the waters. And when you're doing that in a crowd in New York for a pro Coco golf crowd, what was she expecting? Were they going to somehow, was it an even crowd? I mean, to think that everyone was coming down on her, number one, they wouldn't have been coming down on you had you been doing these antics. Yes, they were pro Coco golf, but you fed into everything. I mean, you just didn't come out of there like, hey, I'm just trying to play tennis and they booed me. There's reasons why people get booed. And like you said, you laid it out. There's reasons why. Now you want to come afterwards and talk about your treatment. Look in the mirror. There's got to be a mirror around somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We've had to put puppers in the mirror, and it didn't help him.
It never helps him. Would you stop it? Summon him.
He said, a mirror? I don't know what that is. Just put me in front of the TV.
And it's like her attempt at cheating.
We see you, puppers.
Her attempt at cheating was so like, I've been to tennis matches in person.
Yeah.
The crowd is never just on one person's side.
Right.
Even when you had McEnroe acting a plumb damn fool.
Yeah.
Tennis crowds and golf crowds, they'll talk about you in the car, in the clubhouse, stuff like that. They're not really raucous crowds.
Right.
For the crowds to be like, hold up, wait a minute. And then the commentators are like, wait a minute, this is wrong. This is ref. What are you doing? Like,
yeah. I mean, for Coco golf to call somebody out,
refs, what the rules are. Come on now.
I mean, Coco golf's just like, wait a minute, she can't sit down. I mean, she's just pointing out the obvious. Like, why do I even have to tell you? Basically, why am I telling the chair she can't sit down? You're supposed to control our actions. If I was sitting down, you're supposed to call me out. And
I'm going to give old girl the benefit of the doubt. Let's take race off the table. Let's say that she had a problem with possibly and then actually getting beat by somebody younger than her. Don't get into sports. There's always going to be somebody younger than you. It's sports.
Yeah.
There's a new person coming out every single day.
I mean, Coco golf. Well, she sees the news. She saw the tournament. Coco golf just came off winning Cincy, right?
Yep.
So she just had a big win in Cincy. So yeah, she knows what she's up against. She's up against, one of the U.S. hopefuls. I mean, yes, she spent a long time trying to learn the ropes, and I know the Williams sisters have helped her along the way, but she's still coming into her own at her own pace. So,
and here's the thing. I think that there were a lot of people, because we remember Kornikova, who couldn't win a match to save her life, but was super popular because she was pretty and blonde.
Yeah.
But I think there were a lot of people that were like, okay, white women can get back to the top of this game because, one sister is pregnant, one sister is retired. And they're not really fully feeling Coco. They were hoping Coco would be average. And Coco was like, nah, I didn't get into this to be average.
Right, because there's other U.S. women's hopefuls, but Coco's up there. I mean, she is starting to put together tournament wins and not just wins. And yeah, there was some hope for some others. I know for a little while they went through the whole Sloane Stephens, and they've gone through a few other women that they thought were going to take that next step and just kind of leveled out and just kind of never went forward. Now they're just kind of the athletes that are getting bounced after the first round or two. So yeah, Coco is that hopeful. She's shown now that she's not just a first or second rounder. She's now in the semifinals and finals. And that's a lot of hope. And that's kind of when you get these older players and whether they're from here or not, they sense that passing of the guard, passing of the torch to the younger generation, regardless what part of that younger generation is from their country or not. Yeah. We see that on the men's side. You see that in the game period, because it's not a team sport. It's an individuals. It's about, so team sports, it's different positions. People of certain positions on teams come and go. You just fill them in, somebody new. But individual sports, yeah, it's a whole different game when you're marketing yourself. You got to rely on your wins. You got to look at everything. So, I mean, I like that Coco's demeanor stays true to the game. And I know it comes from a lot of people that have given her some sound advice. Because otherwise, you're going to get the other side of the crowd that starts jumping on Coco. Because, here we go again. Now Coco now she's playing with lashes, or now she's putting some long nails, or,
Well, not only that, when you participate in something that is not stereotyped to you, you learn very quickly the line that you have to toe. You learn very quickly.
Let's look at track and field. You could go there.
Because you have to
Oh my. Thanks, Lunger.
You can't say or do certain things because it's automatically, see, this is why we shouldn't let them in. Oh my God, they're just so, and that is what
good, but why does she have to have all those tattoos? Or
that's what she was banking on in that press conference. When she started crying, she was like, but sweetheart, we've had too many Black women in tennis for too long for you to pull that.
Right. Yeah, they were so mean to me. No, like I said, this wasn't because you were playing a sound game and they just chose to boo you. You fed into this by your actions. And
see, I didn't know who she was, so I
didn't either.
Went looking, and I was like, "This isn't the pace that you play at."
Right.
And I'm like, no wonder you lost. You played so many games. You played yourself.
Right. Yep.
Like, she legitimately played herself.
Yep.
I don't know what's wrong with you right now, but you need to stop.
Yeah, there's no fries. Calm down. We need to slip.
Is a hell of a drug.
Need to slip something in his drink. Good Lord. What? The marathon. The brat is on a marathon over there. It's like, what in the? He's gonna pee himself.
He just woke up and went crazy.
Oh my God. No, Joy is not here.
If anybody ever questioned if this show is really truly live,
I mean, if we had Joy on the panel, imagine that.
Oh my goodness. He would have knocked me over and you would just see his face right here.
Yeah, a brat. Drooling. Not saying a word, drooling. 30 minutes of straight 30 minutes of straight drool.
Oh my goodness. Final thoughts on the night before we close it out with Killer Cam.
Going off of what we've been talking about tonight, I'm just hoping anyone tonight that's been listening, if you're anywhere within the path of the storm, hope everyone's safe. Some people, like I said, are still dealing with it, some worse than others. but I hope for the safety for those that have had to deal with whatever remnants are coming from it.
Whew.
Which thankfully, I don't know if it's already gone by here. It must have gone further south because we just got steady rain, and the rain's been coming since about 3 o'clock, but it was a steady rain. It never really increased more than a steady rain. So the wind was not here, thankfully, but I know there are those that are probably more south from here that probably got it much worse, even from the outer bands or whatever's still going.
Yeah.
So I don't know where it's at now, but yeah, I think we got off pretty. We were pretty fortunate here.
Yeah, the last update is from 49 minutes ago. It looks like Georgia's still getting flooding.
Georgia? Has it stalled? Because it was at Georgia earlier.
I'm saying they're still getting flooding. And as somebody who's lived through a multitude of floods,
Okay.
it'll be a minute.
Yeah. But where the actual main center of the part of the storm is it showing where it's at now? Has it gone into South Carolina? Because yeah, I don't know if it's really slowed down. I mean, if it starts to stall, yeah, it's just going to dump water on whoever. Because I know they kept downgrading it. So I don't know where they're at now, whether it's tropical depression or what.
It's just now, it has now reached South Carolina.
Okay. So yeah, it might actually pick up a little more here than we might get a little bit more rain, but I think it's going to stay a little further south from here. So I think our end's okay, but I think the eastern end is probably still going to get it pretty good until it hits the ocean again.
Yeah, and whatever the leftover remnants are, we always get it here. That'll be fun.
They call it the old remnant Kentucky.
Yep, pretty much. Although,
especially the man that, yeah.
Ding dong, he glitched again. You know what? Okay, all jokes aside, because everybody knows I cannot stand Mitch McConnell. I can't. But there's something that I noticed today. Yeah, I noticed something today when he glitched.
Yeah.
I'm not making any type of diagnosis.
That wasn't the Matrix either, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying that the Skinwalker has, I don't know what's going on with him. But I will say there was a point, for those of y'all that don't know, both of my grandfathers and my mother, 1 year and a day apart, all passed away of cancer. There was a point that they started having that look and that glitch. And honestly, and like I said, all jokes aside, I am now to the point where I am on standby where we hear that he's passed away, probably in his sleep. And Feinstein, it's time to just leave. And for people that are like, oh, but she signed a power of attorney over to her daughter. If she can't make decisions about her life, I have a power of attorney right now. I can still make decisions over my life. It is a precaution for at any point in time, I cannot vocalize what I want. I really need folks to know and understand that words have definitions. Don't just say words and think that if you toss them out, they'll be like cooked spaghetti and just stick to the wall. It's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. But yeah, at this point, I'm on, because I even called somebody close to my heart and was like, hey, you out of school? And they were like, yeah, on your way home, can you like swing by Mitch the bitch's house and see if hospice is outside there? I'm dead serious. I did.
Yeah. So
trust me, I was coming to Westminster Baptist Church when he passed. I will be outside his funeral. I'm going to be just as disrespectful to him as he has been and his whole family has been to the rest of us. There will be no peace for the wicked.
So you think they've opened up the gates at Skinwalker Ranch to Welcome
I just
back.
know that his meat suit is definitely out of warranty. He can't take it back in for no repairs. Okay. Y'all know when y'all get something and it's out of warranty and you too cheap to just replace it. We've all done it. We've all done it. He can't replace that suit and it's out of warranty. And I guess Daniel Cameron stopped letting him bite him on the neck. So he done ran out of, youth serum. So I
Daniel.
Ding dong, the dingy bitches.
Old Daniel. Old Cameron. Yeah, there's so much going on. I mean, if we were to literally sit here and go state by state in some of these states that you could spend like a week talking about. I mean, you can throw in all our states. I mean, I know right now our governor's hanging on. There's a super majority in this state that I'm in. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of states right now that are just.
When he joined that press conference and was like, well, we've had bigger storms before in 1920 something, sir. Everybody just needs to chill. I was like, he don't like.
I mean, a storm's a storm. A storm is. I mean, if you're bringing flooding, isn't that bad enough? Like,
right? Like other governors were like, hey, at this point, because they told people like try to get home, try to evacuate, and then it got to a certain point today where they were like, other governors were like, wherever you are, hunker down there. It's not even, don't try to drive, because as it gets later in the day, sun starts to go down and visibility, you could drive into flooding and not know. Your governor was like, everybody can just chill. I was like, he don't like them people.
So you're saying the guy down in the Sunshine State put his white boots on?
Oh, you didn't hear? 100-year-old.
Did he put the white boots on?
No, 100-year-old tree fell on their house.
What?
Not the governor's mansion, their house. And the thing about it is, the wife and kids was at the house. So I'm like, you don't let them stay at the governor's mansion?
The tree was trying to send somebody back to hell.
But I was like, you don't let them stay at the governor's mansion. And here's the thing. Remember, Ron DeSantis passed legislation to push all the Mexicans up out of Florida. Who's rebuilding Florida? And no, before y'all go, Taz, you're being bigoted. You're being prejudiced. No, I'm not. If y'all look at construction in Florida, the construction industry in Florida and farming, that is hands down dominated by Mexicans, and especially Mexican migrant workers. They have no one left. Y'all didn't see the training videos where they was trying to train the good old boys to do that stuff, and they had to take them inside to air-conditioned places. And I'm like, okay, you training them how to do it. They're slow as shit, and they can only work in the air conditioning. Y'all fucked.
Yeah,
but the tree fell on the house.
I mean, they going down because the workers are like, we're out of here. Like, we didn't ask for this. If we don't work, they're going to ship us out to some other state anyway. So we might as well leave and let them handle this. And yeah, I mean, considering that Florida is one of those states that exports out certain fruits, vegetables, whatever. Yeah, that's damning to that state. And Ron just sits back and just continues to insult people and challenge them to do something about it, and they do. And they're just like, yeah, we're out of this. We're out of this dumpster fire. We're leaving. So I don't blame any of them for leaving. I mean, they clearly realize, wait a minute, this isn't the Florida that people from way back when used to talk about. like not even Disney's safe here. Like, what are we doing? Even though Disney's sitting back, like, yeah, you can talk all you want, Ron. You wouldn't be doing anything if we weren't in this state.
That part, but I'm still tickled that the governor's wife and children were not in the governor's mansion. They were at home, and the home got hit by a tree. Good luck with them repairs, Ron. You know what? They'll probably use, because remember when they were raising money for hurricane relief the last time, and the people never got the money. It went into his wife Casey's account. and she's coming under scrutiny for it now. And then after the mass shooting over the weekend, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna raise money." Oh, okay. I see. You knew that your house was gonna get messed up. That's what that money is going.
He's going to get the guys with the, you know, they tend to wear white and go out on weekends and do things. Yeah, they're going to get the little ones that are there that will be like, I know a guy that knows a guy who could fix your house.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He just happens to be currently in a rally right now, but he'll be free on Monday. He's currently wearing some you know, some sheets, but he's free on Monday.
He'll be free on Monday.
So, anyways.
As always, show, and just to remind you all, check out the links in the description of this video. And as always, each one teach one, each one preach one. Stick around for this last video. Like I said, we opened and we're gonna close with Killer Cam because we love Killer Cam. We love to see Killer Cam taking them down. Till tomorrow, y'all.
Now, before we really start, I'm gonna let the beginning of this video play out because there was a quick and easy serving to fuck around and find out that I need you guys to see in real time. Now, just in case y'all missed it, and also because I want to see it again, there's the fuck around. There's the find out. Lil Danny Phantom is about to go ghost for real. Killer Cam was about to float like a battleship and sting like a hornet. He was about to get filleted, seasoned, and fried right there on the map. Killer Cam was about to turn into Ryu and hit that boy with a Hadouken. Lil Danny Phantom was really about to eat a snack bag full of knuckles. Don't run now, Danny. Now here you can see someone reminded her where she was, because she was about to get high off the smoke she wanted. However, you'll see that she was also reminded of what she was allowed to do. For instance, you can choke that little green-haired ghost boy. Choke him out. And if not, you can break that arm off and take it with you to church, because praying with 3 hands gotta mean something. Lil Danny Phantom trying his hardest to get out of there, but you just had to poke a hungry mama bear with a barbed wire stick, huh? Honestly, you were better off just touching her hair. Instead, you decided to join the Suicide Squad. Yeah, this is some real fuck around to find out energy. Like, I don't think I've ever been this satisfied watching a match. Oh yeah, man, if regrets was a person, it would be little Danny Phantom. He's probably down there trying to spit a 3-part apology right now. Whole time Killer Cam just embracing her inner John Wick. All she thinking right now is it wasn't just the dog, Danny. Nah, where you going, baby boy? What Scorpion say? Get over here. I'm gonna show you why they call me Killer Cam. Oh, good choice. You live to fight another day.